and it's holding me back. I see it in my group and I see it in myself. And she said, okay, I think you're onto something. I see patients daily. And that sounds very familiar. So let's partner. And so we did. And the data found exactly that. There's two different kinds of hope that an ambiguous griever may likely encounter. And hope is a great thing, don't get me
Right.
wrong.
Hope is a great thing, but I can see that if you're holding on to it in a way that you could hold on to it, that could be holding you back, and that you have to release it at some point. I can see that.
Right.
Yeah,
And
and for me, I also, as a spiritual person, I also think it's good for us to always have hope for life, for life to
yes,
unfold, for love, for the world to manifest in a beautiful way. But I can see that when there's a loss, that if you're holding on to the hope of some sort of miraculous return or awakening, that it's like an arrested development. It's like it's stopping you.
that's so well said. That's so very well said. Yes. And, hope has been written about for ages because it is wonderful. It's a virtue in Catholicism. It is, Emily Dickinson, hope is the thing with feathers that
Yeah.
perches in the soul and sings the tune all day long and never stops at all. And I read that through my new lens. Of course, I read it before,
Sure.
and now I've read it after, and I read that and I think it is a bluebird, or it is like Cinderella's bluebird is hope, or it is Iago, the parrot from Lion King, just, oh my goodness, stop squawking at me. Right. And so I think that, I Pope Francis did a beautiful TED talk on hope that I recommend often. It's lovely. And so I am in no way, bearing the flag of hope is bad.
I get it.
However, I do believe that hope misdirected can be as dangerous as it is good, because when we're focused on a cure for our loved one, or we're focused on whatever our focus is that is placing hope outside of us for someone else, is meaning that we're not hoping for ourselves, right? Our energy is being directed toward another person, and we get very busy finding solutions for other people's problems
Right.
in
And it
that
seems it
way.
seems also a trick of the ego, like, I will be happy when this person returns, or I will be happy when this person awakes. But the truth is,
Yes,
I need to find my happiness whether or not that person does anything or not.
that's right. It is not, it is out of our control. And, the serenity prayer is something that, speaks to that. To know the difference of
Yeah,
what is ours to control and what isn't. And, when if we're not turning our hope internally, I don't believe we're giving our grief the space to transform us.
I see that. That's the quote. So far, that's the quote of the podcast.
Oh, super. And it's not really a popular opinion amongst
Yeah.
some people, because, and that's certainly fine. And perhaps they'll never need to see hope in that way, but when we're able to kind of lay down our sword and say, it's an act of love. It's an act of self-love, I believe, to say, okay, I'm going to be aware of my external hope, and I'm going to choose internal hope. And what that looks like is, so internal hope looks like I am envisioning a life for myself without that relationship as it once was. It doesn't mean that relationship won't take on a new form. It doesn't mean the person is out of your life forever. There's a myriad of ways that relationship can continue or not, but finding acceptance can then help you determine how you hope.